This podcast is brought to you by our good friends at Verizon, a proud supporter of the global game and the players who inspire us on and off the pitch. As an official sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026, Verizon is honored to help share the stories of the world's top players, including the incredible women who are changing the game at every level. Stay tuned for more on how Verizon can get you connected to the game we love. Hello and welcome back to the Give and Go. I'm your host, Reynoso, with my boy
Soltero. What's up, y'all?
It's the weekend preview, folks. A show where we preview the biggest games in club football this upcoming weekend, and we have a jam-packed, star-studded weekend awaiting us, specifically on Saturday. Yeah. All the games that we picked to preview are happening on Saturday, so this Saturday should be one filled with many, many great moments. Let's start off with the Americas. In North America, the action that we have underway in both Liga MX and MLS, starting off with the MLS Cup, where we have Inter Miami hosting the Vancouver Whitecaps.
This is a match truly fit for a final. And I kind of want to go through the narratives of both teams because both fan sets should be so proud of what their franchises have done this season, and also excited because I think there's a good chance for either team to lift silverware at the end of Saturday. Vancouver, when you look at them, they've been one of the most consistently high-performing sides throughout this entire season. At the beginning of the year, they immediately hit off MLS insanely well. Go all the way to the final in CONCACAF Champions Cup. They actually beat Miami to get there, but they also had to face several Liga MX sides, Pumas being one of them. Yes, it didn't go well against Cruz Azul, but to get to the final, I think for this Vancouver side was such a good sign for things to come. They continued their run throughout the entirety of the summer. They never really hit a lull, which I think is really telling for how cohesive this side is, and they ended the season just as strong as they started, man. They've been so dominant when they're on the ball. Goals come from absolutely everywhere. Berhalter, 14 assists. Ali Ahmed, 11 assists. This team focuses on a passing-oriented style of play. They press hard in the midfield. And then they added a guy like Thomas Muller in August, who, he brings everything. One of the highest IQ players in the game, one of the smartest players of his generation. Well, he's come to Vancouver, and he's really amped up what this team can do. Already 8 goals in just these last couple of months. His impact has been immense for this Vancouver side. Even Takaoka, their goalkeeper, has an assist.
He's been amazing. Damn, I didn't know that.
Exactly. Goals and assists come from absolutely everywhere on this side. I'm incredibly excited to see what Vancouver can do. They are on the road, and I think it's going to be huge. But looking at just Vancouver and what they've done this season, they're so aggressive in the midfield. When they get the ball, they immediately attack. They can be direct when you have a guy like Brian Wright up top. I'm very excited for Vancouver. And, honestly, just as a fan of MLS football, as a neutral, I'm going to be cheering. I'm going to be supporting Vancouver in the final.
This is the type of matchup you wanted, though. When Messi arrived to the MLS and all the lights and all the press came behind him, it was obvious that MLS wanted to amplify Messi's presence here with Inter Miami. I love that they get set up to face off against this Vancouver Whitecaps team that is no easy team to play against, bro. And what I love about their narrative is the weight of the trophy, the weight of the ring that they are pursuing. Reminds me of Dirk Nowitzki with the Mavs in 2011 when he went through Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, LeBron James to win one of the most memorable rings we've ever seen in the NBA. Vancouver's doing the same thing in MLS terms, taking down LAFC with Heung-min Son, and an incredible performance we saw from that LA team away from home. That performance took so much grit, so much toughness, so much strength from Vancouver. They showcased that at home, and they deserved the victory. And then they take on one of the teams with the best form, with the most excitement, with that newfound joy, and San Diego, the newly expanded side who is having a magical first season in the league. They take them on away from home and dominate them, basically in the match within the first 30 minutes, bro. That's incredible. And now you're set up to face off against the greatest player of all time in Lionel Messi, this team of Messi bandits that have been assembled in Miami with big names like Rodrigo de Paul, Busquets on the verge of retirement, Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez on the bench. Does he start? We don't know, but the names are ridiculous. It just feels like everything has been put up against Vancouver Whitecaps this entire season, but they've proven that they're one of the best teams we've seen in MLS history, and here's their chance to get a victory here and prove all the doubters wrong and cement themselves as one of the most deserving MLS Cup sides of all time if they're able to take down Lionel Messi. That's what I like so much about this matchup.
Yeah, but that's the thing I can't ignore as a supporter. Vancouver is Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
35 goals, 26 assists this season. He's playing a video game, man. Like I can't even do that in actual FIFA.
No, you can't.
It's ridiculous.
You definitely can't. Not you. You definitely can't.
It's crazy what he's accomplishing specifically this season. And honestly, during his entire tenure at Miami. But it has to culminate in an MLS Cup. That's why they bought him. It's what Messi does, though, for a living. He doesn't just score goals and get assists. He wins, and he wins the biggest trophies that are available to him. This is what he does. He has had a 20-year career of just nonstop additions to his silverware cabinet. And I don't know if Vancouver's going to be able to stop him from what might be inevitable here. Messi, not just in the playoffs, but all season long, when he's on the ball, he's unstoppable in MLS. He's unstoppable. I haven't seen a defender actually square up to Messi and shut him down. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. And even looking at how aggressive Vancouver can be in the midfield, I just don't think that level is up to Messi's.
Yeah.
So now the question is, okay, Messi's going to have his way. He's going to pull the strings. Is that going to be enough? Can you stop everybody else? But if Messi's still going to get a couple goals, man, I just think we're going to see a lot of chaos in this game. Mm-hmm. I think Messi's going to get an assist. He's going to get a goal. This is going to be an absolute shootout. And I think it's why no matter what happens, we're going to get entertained on Saturday.
It's why I do ultimately end up going with Inter Miami winning this matchup is the Messi factor. And not just that, but Messi and the help he has around him this time around is really, really good. Silvetti and Allende have been incredible this whole playoff, this whole postseason. I think they're going to continue that form. Inter Miami will probably concede goals to what is a very good Vancouver Whitecaps offense, but I think they'll end up scoring more. I'm going Inter Miami wins this matchup in an exciting 3-2 scoreline. Messi getting on the board, Silvetti, maybe the ball does something. I got Inter Miami winning the matchup 3-2, but nothing to take away from Vancouver Whitecaps and what they've done so far. And like I mentioned, if they are able to pull off this incredible result away from home, I'll look at this Vancouver Whitecaps team as one of the greatest teams that North America has ever generated at the club level.
Yeah, it'd be so cool if they pull it off, man. But I'm with you. I don't think they are. My heart will be with them, though. And if they do, man, I mean, we're going to go out and have a hell of a night on Saturday, bro. Yep. We got our Vancouver jersey. You get yours?
I got mine. It's in the mail.
Okay. Well, we got to don both of them on if they win. That'd be crazy, bro. But thing is, I actually have the same scoreline, bro. 3-2. I think it's going to be hella high scoring. Mm-hmm. When you look at both offenses, that's what they focus on, man. Vancouver is just so direct, and Miami have Messi, and then they have very informed players like Allende and Silvetti. I'm going 3-2 Miami.
Yeah, Messi winning the trophy would be huge. Obviously, I think he already technically broke the record of becoming the player with the most trophies accumulated in his career after they gave him the Eastern Conference Championship. My eyes, though, I don't rate that as a championship.
Nah, you can't.
Even having watched American sports, I don't rate that in the NBA or the NFL. So in my eyes, he's still tied. He needs to break the deadlock. You do it by winning the MLS Cup. He does that, and I think he gets the award that he's been pursuing ever since he arrived here in the States with Inter Miami and in the MLS. Folks, let us know down below, what do you have happening in this crazy, crazy MLS Cup final? Send me your predictions because I want to look back and see if any of you guys end up getting them right. Staying in the Americas, let's talk about the semifinal matchups in Liga MX, where we had Toluca face off against Monterrey and lose 1-0, and Tigres versus Cruz Azul tying 1-1 in Cruz Azul's territory. Let's start with Toluca versus Monterrey, as Toluca is now set to host Monterrey at El Nemesio 10. Should be a fiery atmosphere as Toluca looks to impose himself, set that pressure, and flip the scoreline against this Monterrey side.
Yeah, that first leg was frustrating from a Toluca perspective. That post shot that Marcel Ruiz hit God damn,
I can't
man.
believe they didn't score.
He had to finish
Yeah.
that. It was wide open. And even then, unlucky that it didn't bounce in. But beyond that chance, bro, they had so many deliveries into the box that just were not falling. Monterrey were scrambling. Shocking that Toluca couldn't get the draw at least in that first leg. Thing is, I think they're going to make up for it at home in the Nemesio Diaz. I really do think so. Monterrey have a knack for keeping games tight. I do think they're going to frustrate Toluca again, but at home with the same amount of pressure and same amount of aggressiveness, Toluca are going to get the result. I still think it'll be tight. I'm going to go Toluca 2-1.
Yeah, I kind of see a similar outcome. I don't know if I see Monterrey scoring, though. I really don't. They didn't generate that much, even at home. I was a little underwhelmed with how much they generated. It wasn't that much, although I give credit to Berterame. That was a very good class finish. I think he's been great all Liga. But I feel like that first game was honestly best case scenario, or the best that Monterrey could do against this Toluca side. I don't see them shutting out Toluca at home. I just don't see it. I'm seeing multiple goals for Toluca. I'm going 2-0. Toluca wins this game and completely flips the result. But if Monterrey does it, bro, I mean, technically they've already done the first half perfectly. They've done it perfectly. It was the perfect result at home.
True.
No goals conceded. Like, they got away with it. They're now 90 minutes away from getting themselves to a final where we potentially could see a Clásico Regio.
Absolutely. I really do think Toluca's offense is going to figure it out. I do think so.
If they don't, though, is this we got to consider it a choke job then?
Against this Monterrey team, yeah, I'd be like, come on, Toluca. The chances are clearly there. It would be a choke job in the sense that they just couldn't put their finishes away.
I wonder if we'll see Alexis Vega. I know he's been a little injured, but he wasn't there this last game. I would love to see him back at home because he had another great season, 4 goals, 9 assists.
Yeah.
You need him, bro. You need him. I wonder if he's going to be healthy enough for this matchup on Saturday. Things to watch as Toluca goes up against Monterrey. And on the other side, we have Tigres going up against Cruz Azul, hosting them in El Volcán. Should be a crazy, crazy atmosphere as Tigres looks to really impose themselves as well and take down this Cruz Azul team.
Yeah, I think getting 1-1 on the road in a game where Cruz Azul had a ton of the ball, I think Tigres have almost done everything but won it. I really think that they've put themselves in such a good position to take this result back home and just take care of business, man. Cruz Azul, for as good as they did and for as well as they have played, I still think of them as too loose, a weaker version of what they have been over the last 2 years specifically. And Tigres right now are solid. They're just so solid. They have the depth. They have all of their players in decent form. And at home, as we saw against Tijuana, I just don't think Tigres are beatable against a weakened Cruz Azul side. So Tigres, I'm going to say they win this game 2-0.
I think Cruz Azul was lucky to come away with a draw in this last game, bro. They barely generated anything, and the goal that they scored was through a lucky handball. Yeah, you can call it. I'm fine with that, but that's how you break the deadlock. That's how you're able to score on the Tigres side, is through a shoddy handball penalty. In terms of chances created, there wasn't anything that clear that came Cruz Azul's way. Tigres, on the other hand, I think was unlucky to only have 1 goal scored in this match because they had some more clear opportunities generated for themselves away from home. At home, I think they're going to go crazy. They're going to go crazy. I'm seeing a statement. Such as, let's go 3. Let's go Tigres 3 on this one. Tigres 3, Cruz Azul 1.
Okay.
And I got Tigres winning this matchup, going to the final, giving us a Tigres-Toluca matchup as we predicted earlier. First seed versus second seed going head-to-head in the final. Folks, let's move on to Europe, where we have some good games. Some good games scheduled out. I'm actually really excited about these. The biggest one being this one right here, Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Aston Villa going up against Arsenal. Aston Villa, one of the most informed teams in the Prem right now, as they came back against Brighton, being down 2-0, I believe, flipped the result, end up winning 4-3, and get themselves into the top 3 of the Premier League. Whereas Arsenal just got done tying Chelsea 1-1, follows that up with a 2-0 victory over Brentford midweek, and looks to get a statement victory away from home. And I specifically say statement victory away from home because when looking at Arsenal's away games against top teams, in my opinion, I feel like they still haven't fully gotten a convincing result away from home. They tied Sunderland, they tied Chelsea away, they lose to Liverpool away. They need to get a big signature victory against a formidable opponent, a top 4 opponent away from home. Well, here's your chance against an Aston Villa team that is playing some great football.
This game really intrigues me, man. I look at Villa and clearly they have one of the most aggressive offensive lines in the league. It's why they are in the position that they are towards the top of the table. But they also have really good play out wide with players like Maatsen, Matty Cash, Luca Digne off the bench or in starting position as well. The offensive line and the width that Aston Villa provide is some of the best in the entire league. So I'll be really curious to see how Arsenal handle that. On the flip side, though, I've only seen Arsenal struggle against teams with a strong central identity. Villa don't have that. They really don't. I still consider Con Pau Torres to be somewhat loose when it comes to defending at the back for Villa. And also looking at their midfield, while they are good players in Tielemans, Onana, and Camara, they're good ball holders and good distributors. I would not consider any of Villa's midfielders to be good defenders. So this will be a true test of how good Arsenal are. If they can handle this offensive line and the wide players of Villa, honestly, I think Arsenal will be able to take care of business even if it's on the road. But how strong is Villa's offense? That's the ultimate question. For me, I don't think it's going to be strong enough.
To break Arsenal's defense, it'll be tough. It'll be really tough. I think on paper, everything's leaning towards Arsenal being able to get a 1-0, 2-1 type victory away from home here. I get worried, though, because Arsenal has fallen flat in these away games, man. Mm-hmm. They have. And I think Aston Villa will have a very raucous crowd. Unai Emery's going to be on those sidelines losing his goddamn mind against his old squad. And I could see Aston Villa playing up to Arsenal's level and leveling out the playing field in this specific game. Because I haven't seen it yet this whole season, I think I'm going to go with the draw here.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to go with draw because I have yet to see Arsenal really take it to an opponent away from home that is of this quality. Until I see it, I'm going to give the opponent credit here. Aston Villa, I think, has all the makings of a team that can definitely phase out Arsenal. Give me a 2-2 draw. Aston Villa ends up tying Arsenal.
Yeah, and another point for Arsenal that's going to go against them is no Declan Rice, which is huge. He's been their best player of the season. He's been the best midfielder in the Premier League. That's massive. And they're missing 3 of their center backs with Mosquera going down injured against Brentford. So they'll have to have a makeshift backline with probably White out wide, Timber in the middle alongside Hincapié. That's different for Arsenal. But here's the thing. We've noted Arsenal's biggest point of the season is their depth. So yes, they're missing some crucial players, but I don't think it's going to affect the result. I really don't. I think this game is perfect for players like Eze and Odegaard to go absolutely off. Same with Saka. This is his time to shine on the road as the star player with Declan Rice out. And then you still have guys like Merino, Gyökeres off the bench, who are in fantastic form, specifically Merino, to just go off. So yes, Arsenal missing some of their best players, but I don't think it's going to matter. And that makes Arsenal truly a title-winning side. We talked about that. I'm going Arsenal 3, Villa 2.
Arsenal should win it, though. That's the thing. They should, but I think this Premier League title race is going to get insanely tight. Aston Villa gets the result here, bro. They move within 3 points of Arsenal. This is a golden opportunity for Aston Villa to actually cement themselves as a team that's genuinely in the title race. I still don't feel like I can say that just yet. You beat Arsenal, you can say that. That's what's on the line for them. And Arsenal, I think, needs to have as much separation as possible. And they need to distance themselves from those teams below them. This is your chance to do it against an Aston Villa team that is trying to annoy you in the standings going into the rest of the season. The other matchup that we have selected is in La Liga. We have Real Betis hosting Barcelona on Saturday as well. All Saturday games, folks. Should be a fun day. And I like this matchup. I've always liked a good Betis-Barcelona matchup because I feel like Betis can oftentimes play up to Barcelona's level, even if Betis isn't at that high a level throughout the whole regular season. Well, here we have an opportunity against a Barcelona team that just got a good, significant victory against Atletico Madrid to solidify their momentum, solidify Leva, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal up top, and get back into their winning mojo against his Betis side.
Atleti shouldn't have lost, man. On Tuesday, they shouldn't have lost. The Simeone, big chance, but specifically Almada. My God, bro, he rounds everybody, gets through the keeper, but he was out of control. I really think Barca shouldn't have won that game. I just want to make that very, very clear. But hey, sometimes it just doesn't fall your way, bro, and that's okay. And it did not fall Atleti's way on the road. We were sloppy for most of the game. So honestly, 3-1 with that last goal being, consolatory at the end of the day. Happy with the result. Just want to say that. Just want to put that out there because we deserved the draw. Barca Betis. This is gonna be fun. Betis have such fun players, man. You look at their midfield players like Marroca, for example, but up top there's a lot of firepower actually for this Betis side. You have Bakambu, who can come off the bench, Jimmy Avila, for example, Cucho Hernandez, out wide Anthony, always a key figure for this Betis side. Inconsistent, sure, but if he's up for it, he can get past a player or two and make something happen. That's what I like about this matchup. I think there's just going to be a lot of goals. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be insanely entertaining. But for as fun as Betis are, they're just as culpable defensively, man. I don't trust this Betis backline at all. I don't trust Barca's, but I definitely don't trust Real Betis' defense. I think Barcelona are going to take advantage of that. But Betis will get a couple goals themselves. I'm going Barca 4, Betis 2.
Oh, I like that. I like that scoreline. That sounds very in line with the Barca D that I've seen. I will say, I think the inclusion of Rafinha, I think what I saw in the Atleti match, it feels like Rafinha is finally starting to arrive the way that I was hoping he would. He's been coming off of the bench for a good time now, trying to get his momentum back, and he was very good in that Atletico matchup. I think Rafinha being able to play up to his Ballon d'Or level that we saw last year is crucial to Barcelona's offense. I think here's a great opportunity for him to just continue that, showcase himself. Lamine Yamal on the other side doing Lamine Yamal type things, and Leva right in the middle, or even Ferran Torres, who's in good form as he scored that third game-winning goal against Atletico Madrid and hushed the whole Atletico Madrid crowd. I'm sure you saw that image. I'm sure you haven't forgotten.
Oh, you're a Barca fan now?
I'm just saying what happened. I'm not even picking a sides here, all right? I'm just saying what happened.
Okay.
I think we're going to just see a continuation of what we saw against Atletico Madrid against Real Betis ultimately. So I'm going high scoring too. Rarely do I predict this score, but I'm going to have to do it here. Barca 5.
Ooh.
Betis 1.
Damn.
Yep. It'll be one of those high scoring matches.
Massacre in Sevilla. Jesus. I just want you to know, bro, Leeds are beating Liverpool, all right?
Oh, here we go.
I want you to know that.
After they beat who? Who did they just beat? Who did they just beat?
No, we know Chelsea midweek are liable. We already know that.
God.
There's no surprise there.
Let's go to Italy, man. Italy, where we have Inter Milan facing off against Como. This is a fun one. As Como is in 5th place at the moment. They've been playing great football this entire season with 21-year-old Nico Paz leading Serie A in goals and assists combined, already in double digits, I believe, with 10. He's been cooking all year, bro, the Argentine product. And he's got Como in 5th place as they're set off to face off against Inter Milan in 3rd place. Winner moves into the top 3, essentially, of this match. Inter Milan hosting this game at the San Siro. It's a big game, brother. It's a big game for, obviously, Inter Milan, who has their Scudetto pursuits, but Como, who's been trying to certify themselves as a top 4 side in Italy. I mean, it'd be crazy if they ultimately end up being able to finish there when the season ends to get into Champions League. But even now, to get themselves into the title race would be even crazier because it's already tight in Italy. Como getting involved makes it even more nuts.
I mean, they're right there. 4 points separates them from the top of the table. I've had to dig deep into this Como side these last couple of weeks to really study them, to really ask the question, is Como a title contending side? Because to see them this high at this stage of the season, gotta be honest, I'm pretty surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at them play, though, they have a really measured style of football. They never commit too many men forward, and their focus really is on holding the ball and having a nice, slow tempo type of play. And they are able to do that because of the midfield players. You specifically have Perrone, who's very good. He kind of does everything, a very balanced midfielder. You have Kakare, also another really good balanced player who's good on the ball. And then, of course, as a guy you already mentioned, Nico Paz. He was a true facilitator of the ball. Just watching him play this last couple of weeks, he's creative. He's super creative. Honestly, Messi-like with some of the things that he tries. He loves popping the ball over the back of the defense without going too deep. It's really fun to watch. And when you have guys like Alberto Moreno, for example, who loves to just fly down the flank, it's fun to see him try these diagonal balls. Where I think Como struggle, though, it is in their offensive line. They have a lot of runners, they have a lot of discipline, but I just think their players are very raw. Jesse Rodriguez on the left side, Adai on the right-hand side. You have Kuhn off the bench if you want. They're good players, but they're just too raw in my opinion. And when I look at Inter Milan's wide players, I just see established Serie A legends essentially at this point with Di Marco, Dumfries who's injured, but that's an example. Carlos Augusto, Luis Enrique you could put in those positions. So I think Como will have a good battle in the midfield, but I think they're going to lose the game out wide. I see it being tight, but I think ultimately Como just don't have enough quality throughout the entire squad. I'm going Inter 2, Como 1.
Como 1, okay. Nothing. Does Como conceding the least amount of goals in Serie A mean anything to you? Best defense in the league?
The fact that it's on the road. If this was in Como's stadium, I would maybe consider it being a little tighter.
Here's my thing with Inter Milan, man. I trusted them against Napoli. They proved me wrong. 3-1 loss. Hurt me. I trusted them against AC Milan. They proved me wrong. Hurt me. Wrong once again. What's that thing they say? 3 times the charm? 3 times the charm?
3 times the charm.
Let's try it out.
Let's try it
out. Inter Milan gets a predictable victory here, as this is the type of game, because this is what I said those last 2 matches. This is the type of game where Inter Milan wins, where they solidify themselves, where they say, we're Inter Milan, we're title contenders, this is when we win. What they do the last 2 times, they did not do that. This is when they do it. This is when they do against a rowdy Como side, but a team that ultimately they are better than. I think the goals are going to show themselves for Inter Milan at home especially. Give me Inter Milan 3, Como 0. No goals in this game.
Nothing.
No goals.
Yeah, I actually like that.
No goals, man. Just letting them know.
Yeah,
letting them know.
I like that.
Yeah.
I asked the same question, though, because looking at those Napoli, AC Milan results, and even Atleti as well, not good for Inter Milan when they play against big sides, but the difference between those 3 teams and Como, Atleti, Napoli, and AC Milan have big players that showed up in all of those games against Inter Milan. For AC Milan, it was Pulisic. I mean, truly, probably one of the most in-form attacker in all of Serie A. That's who Milan had. In Napoli, Scott McTominay. And we've seen what he did with Scotland this last month. We've seen what he does for Napoli. Serie A Player of the Year last year. Those are the type of big-name players that Milan and Napoli have. Como really do not have a big player. Nico Paz is that guy. He's becoming that guy. But I still think he has more to do. He has more room to grow. So I agree. I think this is the type of game Inter Milan will definitely win. What
if Nico Paz decides it, though?
That'd be crazy. Maybe he establishes himself here at the San Siro.
And we'll give him his credit then.
Absolutely.
If that happens, we'll give him his credit. Okay, fair. I like that. I got Inter Milan winning this matchup. Folks, let us know down below who do you have winning this game. To finish out, let's do Linked Up by Verizon, where we answer your questions that you guys send to us on Instagram. Today's question comes from Drew, who asked, what's the most competitive league in Europe this season?
Oh, I love this question, man. I've been thinking about this, Drew, for a while, actually. The last 2 weeks specifically, because you just look across Europe, there's just so much at stake, but they're all kind of different. It's not Bundesliga, because Bayern just have too much of a gap already.
No chance.
It's just not Bundesliga. What's crazy is that it's not the Prem if Arsenal win this weekend. It's not. Arsenal will start growing a gap. Nobody can really catch them. And at that point, I just don't know if I could say it's the Prem. I really don't think so. La Liga is interesting because it's 4 teams and that's it. Nobody can touch Villarreal, Atleti, Madrid, or Barca. Let's just straight up. So that's interesting. But for title race, it is competitive. Oddly enough, France is insanely competitive right now. It's actually insanely competitive right now. And so is Italy. So if I'm going pure competition, like the most amount of teams that can go for the title,
say it at the same time.
It's either France or Italy.
It's Italy.
And I'm going to go Italy.
It's Italy. There's 4 teams for sure that are in it, and you could even include a 5th or 6th or a 7th if you like. I don't think you can say that for France.
You can almost.
France is 3.
No. Look at it.
Realistically, it's 3.
Look at Liga right now.
Ren ain't doing shit.
Look at it right now. Liga is surprisingly competitive. We can't ignore it. We can't ignore it. In the past, it hasn't. I'll give you that. But this year, weirdly, Liga has been insanely competitive.
It's just, I feel like that could tilt within 10 days. PSG can just wake up and that can tilt. Italy can't. That can't happen. No one's going to take over Italy in 10 days like that. I'm going Italy. You got to pick one.
I'm going Italy, but it might change in a month if France keeps going the way it's going.
Okay. Folks, let us know down below. What do you think is the most competitive league in Europe right now? That's the weekend preview. We'll be back with the weekend recap on Sunday or Monday. Keep an eye out. Regardless, Saturday, the day to watch football. Till next time, guys. Peace.